Hi, hey, thanks for joining me. My name is Mike Hobbs, Mortgage Mike. I'm a loan officer with Umpqua Bank. I've been doing this for, well, this year marks my spanning my fifth decade. I started in 1984 and done thousands of home loans for people. I've worked in real estate. I've also started and was a general manager for a law firm during the mortgage meltdown in '07 and '08. And I'm bringing you the show today, and every week or every 10 days, it's going to be between a week and 10 days, to help you as a consumer figure out the best mortgage financing for you, whether you own a home, you need to refinance, or for purchasing, what you might do and what are the best programs for you. And we're talking about those, but not just rates or any of that kind of stuff. We're never going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the processes and how you get it and some of the things that may hold you back. The other thing we want to talk about, which I'm passionate about, really is talking about what's going on today. It's a scary time with the COVID-19 and what it's done to our economy and everyone, and the loss of jobs. Fannie Mae is reporting something like 6% of their servicing portfolio has been affected. I know Umpqua Bank has something similar to that. And how do people get help? We talked about it last week on the show, but we're going to delve into that a little more directly with some specifics. I also promised you last week a qualified written request example and to show you how to do that so you can get some information from your servicer. I will let you know I'm blind. I'm going to be putting these on from time to time because I can't see. And again, just wanted to welcome you to the Mortgage Mike Show. That is me with my red cape on. Many years ago, I did radio, and at that time it was Mortgage Madness. And during the Mortgage Madness show, that was me donning the red cape. You'll notice the difference is the color of my hair. Clearly, it's a darker color. It is now gone white. And if you look at my hair too closely right now with working from home for the sixth week, you will find that I don't frequently wash it, although I meet the minimum standards for proper hygiene in the mortgage industry. But you will notice that my hair is a little flat and, frankly, a little long. And then last decade, I did something that was called Rebel Realtors Radio. And that was a lot of fun because we were a vanguard, breaking down the walls and kind of the rules of how you sell real estate. And so that was a kick and a lot of fun. So welcome to the show. I will tell you that we're going to have a little bit of fun here, and we're going to be brief, only about 10 minutes, maybe 15 tops. I'm going to cut it short. So let's talk about why you should care. My background is in mortgage banking, real estate, sold real estate. I've had three real estate firms. I've had a couple of mortgage banking firms and brokerages. I've also was the general manager for a law firm that I started back in the last decade. It was to help people that were struggling with foreclosure and staving off the foreclosure process. I was fighting and writing briefs, really fighting against the banks and wanting to keep them from foreclosing on people that were in hardship. So it brings us to full circle to where we are today and what we're going to talk about today. Why do you care? Because, I'm passionate about providing you with information that makes buying your home more valuable or owning your home more valuable while eliminating the inconvenience, the unknown, and also the worry associated with it. I'm also passionate about being a consumer advocate and bringing information that can actually help you figure out how to get through this. So if you are one of those families and individuals that's lost a job or furloughed and you're having some trouble making your payments, you can do this. The CARES Act and the forbearance options available to you will allow you to continue on. You shouldn't worry. So the theme of the show really is to give you some peace of mind and some hope and quality of life. So you can get through this. We're all in this together. So again, I did radio, did a law firm where we fought the banks. Let's talk about the QWR. We talked about that last time. What is a qualified written request? I'm going to put it up here on the screen, and I am going to put my glasses on so I can see it too. So qualified written request, and what is it? We talk about it there, and it's the letter written to your servicer to elicit and resolve errors that are related to your account. But really, in this case, it's number two. It's obtain information regarding your account or your mortgage. Your name and the account, the information, you can read that. You need to put your name and the account information so your servicer can identify you. I placed in green, if you can see that, a detailed description of the information you're seeking. In these situations, you're really dealing with, I think, wanting to determine whether or not what's going to happen with the forbearance. And it brings me to a story we're going to talk about in just a minute. The client of mine or a listener of my radio shows over the years, and also taking a look at our channel, my channel on iMortgage Mike. and the mortgagemikeshow.com or mortgagemikeshow.com. You'll see that scrolling by on your screen. And he's called in, and we spoke today. Sam is his name, and how he's having a difficult time with his servicer, one of the smaller servicers, and what that means, and how he can and I can help him negotiate and navigate that pushback they're giving him for wanting to get a forbearance. See, they're telling him he's going to have to pay it all back at the end. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. So on the qualified written request, which is something we want to talk about some more, is that you want a detailed description of the information you're seeking. So one of the things that I think is important right now is to gather information from your mortgager, your servicer, your mortgage company, that is related to what's going to happen afterwards. So what are they offering and what are their plans? And I'm going to tell you in a few minutes when we get off the screen why that's important to start that conversation, because get some things in writing from them. May not respond, but they have to let you know they received the qualified written request. And again, it can be in any form. They have to let you know they got it within 5 days. They also have to respond with an answer within 30. So you want to do that. There are no specific formats, as I mentioned a minute ago, to write it. It must be sent to your servicer, not any other party. So don't send it to an attorney or anybody that's working as a third party for you. And it can't be written on your payment coupon or any of those types of things, mediums like that. So make sure it's just a regular letter, type it out, email it, send it, print it, whatever you're going to do, and get it to your servicer. So that's a qualified written request, and you're going to want to ask questions if you're going into forbearance or you're in forbearance, what's happening. So let's talk about Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have said recently that they are only requiring servicers, the entity that you make your mortgage payment to pay them 4 of the missed payments you may make in a forbearance. Forbearance means you can take a break. You don't have to make those payments, and it's afforded to you through the CARES Act. So you can take anywhere from 6 to 12 months off, and you need to fill out the forms and apply for it. And really not apply, you're just going to let them know you're doing it. And then you'll miss your payments. They can't report it to your credit report. The CARES Act you can find online. Should have put that up for you, but you can find that online and go read it and check it out and see what they're doing there and what they're requiring of your servicer. Your servicer's FAQs are on the line, are going to tell you a lot of things that are not accurate in some cases, because, and I say not accurate, they're accurate to the degree that they know what's coming. They can't forecast what they're going to do after you're finished and when you're ready to continue making payments. You've gone back to work and you're ready to make payments again. They can't forecast what that is. So they're going to tell you repay it all at once, pay it back over 12 months, continue with the forbearance, just keep missing your payments, or they're going to talk about modification. In this case with Sam, his servicer is telling him that on FAQs and also over the phone that he's going to have to pay it all back in a lump sum, and he can only go down 2 months, miss 2 months. That's not true, and they're not going to do that. So Fannie Mae said that servicers only need to make 4 of those payments to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, even if you're missing more than that. So that's good for the servicer, because then they don't have to, their cash flow is going to be damaged to a limited amount 4 times for mortgage payments for anybody that's late. And then when you continue on being late, they don't have to make those payments. But the servicer can't tell you have to pay it back in a lump sum, because Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac just last week came out and said, we're not going to do that. So what I was forecasting the week before on the show, and I've said for weeks since it started, because all I did at the law firm back a decade ago and more recent was we fought the servicers on modifications and forbearances and loss mitigation. And so the servicers are going to tell you that, in this case, this servicer is telling Sam that he's got to pay it back in a lump sum. That's not true. They don't know. But it discourages people, from missing your payments, because, oh my gosh, I won't be able to pay it back. So who would ever enter into that kind of a relationship with the unknown? And moreover, that you had to pay back a lump sum at once. You would muddle through and continue making your payments. That's not going to be the case. So I said this, I was talking about it because I've been doing this since '92 as well. I did loss mitigation work with servicers and fighting for consumers and doing modifications back then in the '90s with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So I've got a lot of experience with this and I know what's coming. So what they did in the last mortgage meltdown was Fannie Mae came out, and I said this last week, they came out with a one-size-fits-all, a streamlined streamlined modification. So the streamline modification is going to be, look, you were hit with the pandemic, the coronavirus cost you your job, you missed your payments. It wasn't brought on by gluttony, greed, or mismanaged funds like the last meltdown was. So I think they're going to bring out something that says, hey, we're going to just stick that on the back end. Your servicer will never say that. They'll never commit to that. And this is just me prognosticating. I'm not guaranteeing, I'm not making a representation that's what's going to happen, but the likelihood of that happening is significantly greater than it doesn't. And the fact that Fannie Mae is now coming out and saying that they're not going to make you pay it back in a lump sum, that means they're not going to foist that statement or request upon the servicer to ask you to do either. So the only other option is going to be a modification. And I think it's going to be, again, a streamline where they simply go, what happened? Coronavirus. Boom. Here you go. Start making your payments again. Let's take that balance and put it on the back. That's my feeling. And I think it comes with, again, 5 decades and blah, blah, blah. So I think that's what's going to happen. So Sam was being pushed back. He is now loaded with ammunition and vernacular from me by talking to me today, and he's going to head on out to over to his mortgage servicer tomorrow. He has a local branch that actually does some servicing locally where he is in California. And what he's going to do is he's going to approach them and ask them the questions that I've given him related to the CARES Act and why it is that they're suggesting if he goes late, he's going to have to pay it back in a lump sum. So he's going to challenge them a little bit, and that's what you can do through that qualified written request that we had up on the screen earlier, the QWR, so you can do that. So I'll let you know what happens next week when I hear from Sam and he tells me what's happened. So we spent a lot of time on the phone going through that. Hey, again, you're seeing scrolling information down there, imortgagemike.com and mortgagemikeshow.com. Please check it out. We're going on about 12 minutes. I want to cut it off here in about another minute. And check that out. So we're going to do that. Real estate. I want to talk about that very quickly. Foreclosures, you've got a lot of the kind of the doomsayers coming out of the woodwork and saying the real estate values are going to drop. They're not going to. We're seeing that in our area here in Kootenai County. You're seeing it in a lot of other areas. You certainly will have areas impacted with loss of jobs, because where we have sustained loss of jobs, we will have some potential problems for values in homes, but not yet. It's way too early. You're 12 months off. Think about it. 12 months missed payments. Nobody's foreclosing on anybody. No short sales. No hardships. No got to act now. Got to do something now. Hang tight. Wait it out for the 12 months. Then if the modification doesn't work or that resolution isn't as I've described, again, I think it will be, then we'll see some people moving, but they won't have to fire sale as long as people are back to work. So it's all tied into that. If our economy gets back going and we're back to work, you're not going to see it. So this minority at this point in time, it's a lot. I mean, it's millions of people that are, on unemployment. But if we get people back to work and the economy going, you're not going to see things fall off. Interest rates are at a super low point in our history. That's encouraging people to buy, making it more affordable. Housing prices are not going to drop off yet. You're not going to see a glut of foreclosures come on the market at all. Nope. Don't believe that stuff. And if you're getting somebody that's hitting you up for that, or you're behind and you're worried and what's going to happen, check out imortgagemike.com or mortgagemikeshow.com. You can always reach out to me. You can message me there and I'll respond. I'm very responsive to that. So foreclosures are not going to have that. Property values are not going to be declining. Hey, that's all I have for you today. We've spent a bit of time here on the show, and thank you for tuning in. It's about 14 minutes. And again, why should you care? Well, because I'm passionate about being a consumer advocate and bringing you information that's based on, cognitive experiences, from education to life in the seat and things that I've done in real estate, legal, and mortgage banking. So thank you for tuning in to the Mortgage Mike Show. I'm Mike Hobbs. I'm a loan officer with Umpqua Bank, and I'm here providing this as a consumer advocacy to let you know there is hope. I get it. I empathize, by the way, with you. That's another story. But I empathize with anybody out there in hardship that can't make their payments, that's having trouble. I get it. I understand it. And I'm here for you if you need someone to talk to, if you're having trouble with your servicer and you need some information like Sam got from me today, message me. I will respond. You can always call me. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on YouTube. You can give me a call directly. My numbers are posted there. And again, we'll be back next week with some more information about this. And keep the faith, keep some hope, but don't panic. The system is working to help you get through this. If you can't make your mortgage payments, don't panic. You're going to be okay. Okay, Mike Hobbs, Mortgage Mike Show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Thank you.
The chance you dream again, the chance to see the thing.